You've had too much to drink already.
Latham,
With all your money, the amount isn't really so exorbitant.
Latham, I've given you all the money I can.
Darling, you're getting overwrought. Unnecessarily. $10,000 shouldn't mean a thing to you.
Latham, I'm telling you the truth. I haven't got it, I swear. I haven't got it.
Then get it from your husband. He can well afford it. For his loving, faithful wife.
You know I can't do that. You know I can't.
Then I shall be forced to reveal to him some very interesting letters. Letters that resulted from a certain trip his adoring wife took to Honolulu.
Oh, Latham, you can't do that. You can't. It would kill him. You know that. Don't do it, please.
I shall expect you here tomorrow night with $10,000 in cash.
I never met anyone as low in all my life.
You're being provincial, darling. I'll expect you here tomorrow night.
Of intoxication when she was killed.
My wife never drank, Inspector. Never.
That adds up to a lot of things, Mr. Myers. Are you acquainted with a man by the name of Latham Grant?
Yes, casually. He was a friend of Rena's, really. But why?
We've had Grant under surveillance ever since he's been here. We have reason to suspect that he was blackmailing your wife.
Blackmailing Rena? That's impossible.
I'm afraid not, Mr. Myers.
Why don't you arrest him?
On what evidence? With a blackmailer, you've got to catch him in the act. We can't even get people to testify against Grant. Whatever they're hiding is the reason that they're paying blackmail to begin with.
If he was blackmailing Rena, then he drove her to her death. He's a murderer. Are you going to let him get away with it?
We hope not. Hello? Oh, yes. Have him hold on. Would you excuse me, please? We've got a long-distance call here.
Of course.
This is Captain Rogers of the Los Angeles Bronco Squad. Hello? Yes, this is Inspector Lewis.
Say, I just wanted to keep you posted on Latham Grant. You were right. I think he's setting up shop for a victim down here. He just rented a big house in the west end of town. No, we're going to handle things a little differently this time. We're putting an undercover man on it.
Well, I hope you get a good one. Grant is as smart as they come.
Well, I think this tightroper will be a match for him. We've used him before, and there's none better.
Latham Grant had set himself up in a style to which he was accustomed. The house he rented must have set him back a couple of $1,000s a month. He was throwing this party for Laura Crane, the motion picture star. Latham Grant didn't do anything without a motive. So it was up to me to meet Laura. Laura had made a lot of money and had saved it. That made her a perfect target for Latham Grant. She also was far from being bankrupt in the looks department. Hello, Laura.
Hello, darling. You know everybody, don't you?
I haven't had the pleasure.
Oh. I know this is unforgivable, but I've forgotten your name.
You never knew it. Care to dance?
You think I'd love it. You don't talk very much.
How much is much?
Well, by this time, I usually know quite a bit about a man.
Such as how they pant to see an next picture?
How well does that fit you?
Well, I never went in much for movies. Just girls.
Oh. And how are you with a woman?
Like the movie writers say. Wouldn't you like a breath of fresh air?
I'd like you to take me home. I'll get my wrap.
making Mr. Grant's best.
I understand Mr. Latham Grant serves only the best.
I wouldn't know.
You two must be acquainted.
Oh, I'm only acquainted with one of his guests.
Then how did you get in for the party?
I crashed it.
Interesting. I didn't have an invitation either.
Then we should get to know each other. I'm Tony Larson.
And I'm your host, Latham Grant.
You really live it up, Mr. Grant. Best in scotch, the best in everything. Quite a car, Miss Crane. A custom made, isn't it?
You're a good boy. I'll buy you one.
Oh. What's the first assignment?
Call me Laura.
How can I do that when we're almost strangers, Miss Crane? Oh, time for a retake.
Time for makeup. Clayton, pull over, please. I'm sorry, Tony. We're going to have to change our plans.
Something wrong?
Will a headache do?
Until tomorrow.
Laura's expression said blackmail, like it had been printed on her face. Latham Grant had picked his next victim. For the next few weeks, I saw a lot of Laura. It was all part of a plan to make Latham Grant inquisitive and beat a path to my doorstep. I had to make him believe I was after Laura's money.
Imitations. And not very good ones at that.
You should see my weekly bill.
I was referring to your objet d'art. Still, you do live quite well.
May not be filled with Rembrandts, but I call it home.
Mr. Larson, may I speak frankly?
I had the impression you always did.
Since my party, you've been seeing a great deal of Laura Crane.
You know how fellas are about movie stars?
I know how I feel about Laura Crane. She's a dear person, most erudite, and extremely susceptible to charming robes.
Meaning me?
You told Laura you would stock some bonds.
You looked me up and told her I wasn't.
Precisely.
And she said she didn't care.
Which has nothing to do with it. Stay away from Laura, Larson, or things may become extremely unpleasant.
You're not in the investment business.
That's right.
Why did you lie to me?
Didn't seem important at the time.
Now it does. I don't care what you do, and please don't hurt me.
Do you think I would?
I don't know. I don't know. I thought I had the right man once before, and something happened.
Your first husband?
I knew about him.
Most people do. After all, you're what's known as news, Laura.
Darling, I need your help. I found this in my compact the night of Latham's party. The night I first met you.
You killed your husband. $25,000 or police get proof. Do you have any idea who it could be?
Not in the least.
Laura.
No, darling, I did not kill my husband. There were a lot of ugly rumors at the time. I was young. I didn't know how to cope with them. But I didn't kill him.
You have nothing to fear. Go to the police.
I can't. I'm an actress. I'm a target for every scandal magazine. I can't afford the notoriety. Tony.
Laura, I'd like to help you.
I knew you would.
I knew Laura was frightened, and I knew I was going to have to nail Latham Grant. It would be a pleasure, and it wouldn't just be out of love of duty. Couldn't get rid of me one way, he would try others, like this. After all, murder was a close companion to blackmail.
Well, Larson, this is quite a surprise.
Isn't disappointment a better word?
Let's not be enigmatic, my friend.
I've got you pretty worried, Grant. Worried enough to get desperate.
I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's time we had a little talk.
And now I suppose you're going to broach the purpose of your coming here.
I've got your number, Grant.
Well, forgive my lack of reciprocation, but men who live off rich women are indistinguishable anywhere.
Even a parasite likes to raise his status in life. I like the way you live, Grant. Not a phony objet d'art in the place.
Meaning?
What's the cultured word for blackmail?
Extortion will do.
Then we're joining ranks in the business of extortion. Our first customer will be Laura Crane.
In business, there must be a commodity.
That's why it's a partnership. I control the customer. You have the commodity.
Which is?
Information. I don't know what exactly, but I can make an educated guess.
Please do.
Laura Crane's first husband was shot under very mysterious circumstances. Maybe you've come onto something that could scare her.
Is a woman with so much money so easily frightened?
Laura would be. She's in the public eye. She can't afford a scandal, even a phony one. Could jeopardize her career, right? All right, Grant, you can drop those words run 4 to a pound and close this deal with a yes or no. Do we make a deal?
No.
All right. Then I'll tell the lady not to pay, and we'll find a little cottage in the country and let the gossip flow. The marriage isn't exactly my line, but I'll still have Laura's money. What'll you have?
Wait. What do you want?
An even split, and it won't cost you a dime.
Your mathematics is as bad as your grammar.
How much are you asking?
25,000.
Up it to 50, and I'll convince her she should pay no matter what the price. You see, Grant, Laura will listen to me.
Larson, in my whole life, I've never met a person for whom I felt such disgust.
I know, and I'm very fond of you, too. Now, how do we arrange for the payoff?
At the party I'm giving, Laura will be properly informed to have the money with her, in cash. She'll have no idea to whom it is paid until the last moment.
I'll see that she's ready to make the payoff, and I'll also notify you when to hit her with that $50,000 figure. Don't get any more ideas about changing the status of my health, huh?
Since this alliance has costed me nothing, your health could be of no interest to me. Besides, I suppose we do need each other.
We do. For the next couple of weeks, Laura and I were together constantly. She was the kind of woman that could make a man feel 9 feet tall. Laura was happy, too. At least she seemed happy. I know I was. And if I was responsible for bringing her that bit of happiness, I was also going to bring her misery, but I couldn't help it. I was on the tightrope. Grant, it's Tony Larson. Send a note asking for the $50,000. Yeah, send it special delivery so it'll get there late tomorrow afternoon.
Splendid. You're certain she'll be agreeable to that amount?
Yeah, I'm certain she'll do anything I ask her to. Send it. To nail a blackmailer, you catch him taking the payoff. You nail him no matter who it hurts. You do it because it's your job.
I didn't finish it.
Oh, didn't like it?
I didn't want to finish it in case I liked it. I might do it, and that would take me away from you. Tony, I want to do something about that. About our never being apart again. Marry me, darling. I have enough for both of us. Marry me, and then we can share everything.
Laura. said if there was something wrong.
Yes, that's right, I did, didn't I? I said you were the only person I could turn to. Here. You don't look properly shocked, darling. You're keeping company with a murderess.
Oh, stop it, Laura. Nobody's going to believe that.
I'm not so sure. Awful lot of people would like to believe it. They'd like to think we all lead jaded lives out here. Of course I didn't kill my husband, Tony. But if the story were rekindled, if the rumors were strong enough, it could ruin my career.
Then you intend to pay it?
What do you think I should do?
I want whatever it takes to keep you happy, Laura.
Then you think I should pay it.
I suppose so. It'll relieve your mind.
Right, then I will. Give it a go now.
Pick you up for dinner tonight?
No, I have an awful lot of things to do. Just pick me up in time for Latham's tomorrow.
Laura, believe me, I'm going to make this blackmailer pay for what he's doing to you.
Could tie one of these things.
Well, that's perfect. Now, here's your invitation. This is a charity affair at the home of Latham Grant. It cost the department $100, so make it pay off, huh? Now, Lieutenant, tonight you'll be a motion picture exhibitor from the Midwest.
I'll try to make it look good.
Now, wear this flower on your right lapel.
It's the wrong side.
It'll be the right side for the undercover officer. That's how he'll spot you. Now, he'll give you a signal, and the blackmail money changes hands. That's when you'll move in and make your arrest.
And the undercover man?
No, he'll just disappear into the woodwork.
I'll be back in a moment, darling. Just want to fix my makeup.
It was a charity bridge party. I couldn't figure it, but I knew it had something to do with the blackmail. I spotted the police officer, and he spotted me. Now all we had to do was wait for Latham Grant to make his move. I assume Laura's with you. She is. Just what is this bridge party bit?
You see, the $100 the guests pay for admission goes to charity. Whatever each player wins or loses is his own affair. I'm quite sure she didn't. But just in case Laura went to the police, it's a perfect camouflage. Laura, darling. So good of you to come.
Hello, Latham.
We seem to be an odd number, so we'll pay three-handed. I kept this table for us. We'll be away from the others. We can talk. I thought we might play a sort of table stakes game of bridge. Say one rubber for $50,000.
It hit Laura right between the eyes. She had no idea that Grant was the blackmailer. And I had underestimated one thing, Latham Grant. It was as shrewd a draw play as I'd ever seen. Laura wouldn't make a payoff to him. She would lose $50,000 to him in a bridge game.
Draw for deal?
In this game, the rules didn't count, and Laura knew it. She lost, just enough.
Well, Laura, darling, it just wasn't your evening. You owe me $50,000.
Coincidentally, that's exactly what I happen to have on me.
Splendid. In cash, of course.
Of course.
Thank you, Laura. Now, if you'd excuse me.
Laura. For Grant, it had gone as smooth as greased glass. It was a perfect camouflage. And the other police officer and I were sitting with a lot of egg on our faces.
Really, darling, it would be terribly unwise for you to create a scene. Think of the repercussions.
Tony! Tony, it was Latham. He was the
that such a charming woman could kill her own husband. She really did, you know. Even you believe that now, don't you?
My husband was evil. If you knew all the facts, you wouldn't blame me. Now listen, Tony, listen. At an affair like this, there's a lot of money. The kind of money that would attract a thief. He came in here and tried to rob poor Latham. And he killed him. When we got here, he got away. He escaped. That's our story. Nothing and no one can stand in our way now. When you get rid of this gun, we'll swear that's the truth. I can make them believe me again. You know I can.
But I was the blackmailer. It was you that tried to kill me that night, not Grant.
That was before I loved you. I never loved anyone but you, Tony. We've got to get some help.
What happened, Miss Crane? I'm from the police.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. I came up to get my wrap, and I heard this awful commotion from Latham's room. So I came in. There was this man. He was fighting with Latham. He tried to get the money he was putting in the safe. He had a gun. We tried to stop him. We tried. Oh, why did such a thing have to happen to Latham? Why? Oh, why did this have to happen to a man like Latham? Why?
You said we tried to stop the murder. Was there someone in here with you?
Yes. Mr. Larson, right behind me.
Is Miss Crane right?
Miss Crane is a great actress. Best I've ever seen.
Tony! Tony!
Miss Crane! I think you better come down to headquarters with me.
The end hadn't been anything like I had expected. It was still hard to believe that Laura was the killer of two men. When I thought of her, I tried to think only of the wonderful moments. And they had been wonderful. Sometimes after a job, you feel proud the way things turned out. Sometimes you want to forget, like I felt now. But when you're walking the tightrope, you're not supposed to have feelings. Or at least you try not to. It's not an easy thing to do.